Good morning. Good morning to our listeners. We want to take a different spin today during today's episode and talk through a little bit about what a coach is. So, I think Lisa and Kelly would both agree that 2022 brought about a lot of change in all three of us. It's led me to take some pretty bold action. I could speak from myself personally, but I've seen growth in both Kelly and Lisa, and it's just been a really, really amazing, it was an amazing year. We're looking forward to an amazing 2023 as it has already been. But I feel like one of the things that really helped propel me in my 2022 was the fact that I had a coach. And 2 years ago, if you had asked me what a coach was, I would have said, I would have been thinking a wellness coach, a football coach, especially, playoffs football on the brain, a fitness coach, somebody that is really helping you improve something on the outside of you. But in this last year, I have really learned that coaching is so much more about what's inside. That is the key to everything. What is inside your mindset and your approach to certain things, how you respond instead of react to certain situations. And it's funny because we were just chatting right before we, you know, went live here, and I hired my mindset coach by accident. And it sounds like Kelly and Lisa did kind of as well, because what happened was our coach was, I hired her as a business coach. I hired her because I wanted to learn more about the to dos of a network marketing business. And she pivoted. Once I hired her, she pivoted and started focusing a lot on mindset work, a lot on Bob Proctor's teachings. And it was exactly what I needed to move myself forward, not just in my career, not just in my business, but in life. In every area of my life has shifted. And it's just been such a positive change across the board. If I had went to her masterclass and she was talking all this woo-woo talk, I would have been rolling my eyes and been like, no, thank you, lady. I'm good. I never really like that never resonated with me. It really didn't. So it was meant for me to find Julie from a business perspective, hire her for a business purpose. And then she pivoted at just the right time that I was like, wow, this isn't as woo as I thought. And she was speaking in a way that really, really resonated with me, and it's changed so much. I never knew what a coach was. I never even thought like a business coach. That kind of makes sense in my head. Like a mindset coach, a life coach. Like I never even knew what any of that meant. So we wanted to take a step back. Now we've been going at throwing a lot of topics your way in the beginning of this year to get you starting to dream bigger, think about what's possible, start living life by design and all of these things. But we want to just take a step back to help you, our listener, understand where does a coach play into this? How will a coach help you get to these things? And that's kind of why we wanted to address this today. So Kelly, I'll throw it over to you if you have any initial thoughts on this.
Yeah, so Sarah, the whole time you're like speaking, I'm like nodding my head. I'm like, oh yeah, that is exactly why. Like I
Right?
hired our business coach, and how we found each other. And I was wanting one thing for myself. I wanted to be a six-figure earner in my network marketing business, and that's what our coach Julie Ciardi was doing. That's what she was offering. But then she pivoted, and I'll be honest, and she might laugh if she hears this episode, but I was a little perturbed. Like at first, I'm like, no, I want to do this business. I have, been successful, but I want to make it bigger. I want to drive my team. I want to inspire them. I want to change our life. But her heart shifted because she saw the women that joined the group and what their needs are still, and what we needed to hear. And it was the mindset, Sarah. And I'm going to tag along with you too, because I don't think I would have joined her at that point in my life for mindset for two reasons. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know, other than like a counselor or, a shrink or something like that, right? That you go for when you're not feeling well on the inside. I don't think I would have done it because I didn't know what it was. But two, I don't think I was aware that I actually needed it in the first place. Like, I'm fine. I have a successful business.
Exactly.
My husband's working. We got, the house and the white picket fence, and, our son's playing sports, and things are fine. We're paying all the bills, right? But as she shifted, so did all of us. And we started seeing ourselves in just a whole new light. And I think that's what a mindset and life coach does. Like they kind of open the floodgates in a way to things that you didn't think were maybe bothering you. Maybe there's something heavy. Maybe it's, something you're grieving, but you just kind of stuff it under the rug and you don't know why it's festered or how to even, you know, get past it, to become happy, to dream again, like we've been talking about the last few episodes. What do I want? Well, something's probably holding you back. And I think that's where then the life coach steps in and opens those thoughts and those feelings a little bit to figure out what's next for you and your life and to just be open to those ideas. Like the three of us, I mean, I'm just maybe speaking for myself. Like I wasn't ready for it, but I took it in because it was something I didn't know I needed. And that is like the most amazing feeling ever.
Exactly. And just before Lisa shares, I am Kelly, look at us right now. Like we are sharing on a podcast all about this work that we've learned. If you had told me 3 years ago that this was going to be where this led me, just because I wanted to help out and grow my essential oil business, I would have been like, you are off your rocker, lady. What are you talking about? There is no way I'm getting in this mindset space. And here we are. It's so funny.
It is hilarious. It
Right.
is
And not only have
hilarious.
we like made progress, now we're actually life coaches ourselves, right? So we didn't
So
just
Right.
funny how
improve,
that works.
and do the work, but now we want to help others do this, go through the same process and journey that we did.
Wow, wow, wow. So my mind is kind of blown because like it is so fascinating to see what the last 2 years, 1.5 to 2 years have transpired, and the evolution that's happened inside our minds and our hearts and our souls, and then what's transpired on the outside, and the fact that we started a podcast. We, pivoted. You two have pivoted, from direct sales to finding a new corporate job, Sarah, that's more in alignment with your values and your gifts and your purpose. Kelly, pivoting, going, you know what, I this coaching thing is just kind of bubbling up. I want to see what is that all about. And all three of us, I give us kudos because we have stayed open to receive. I think that's the biggest piece that I think a coach helps you to do, is to stay open to receive. And what does that mean? So, what that means is when you are so close to a situation, maybe you're stuck on the hamster wheel of life, right? And you honestly have no ability in that moment to see that you have a choice to think differently, that you're stuck. The overwhelm, all of the emotions of just surviving the day cloud your ability to see things objectively, see things from a different perspective. And a coach, I mean, you probably have an ideas and examples come up, but when you have a coach, it's not like you're diving into all of the, ghosts in your closet, perhaps, but you're getting an objective, non-judgmental, safe place to receive a different thought, a different perspective, a different way to think about your situation. And it's life-giving. I mean, that's what they call it, a life coach, because you go, your bird's eye view is where your coach can help you to go. Like it's taking you and becoming the third person in that situation. It's like you get to look down and kind of see it without all the emotional attachments, without all the viewpoints that you hold so tightly to in that moment. That's what a coach does. That's what I think is different. It's so different than anything that I've ever, I mean, I've gone to counseling and I've done this and that, but that coaching piece, it's kind of like they have the flashlight and they just shine it in this arena of love, acceptance, encouragement. So it's not like, oh, shame on you for thinking that thought. And it brings light to our very minds and souls because we didn't think that thought before we had that session.
I love what you said, Lisa, and really that perspective change has been so huge, and that awareness and having somebody take an you know an interest in what you're struggling with, but at taking the emotion out of it so they can really help you. It's not, the coaches don't give you the answers. You find the answers within yourself, but the coach is there to help you uncover those, which is so important. And I want to try to summarize, like, just coaches in general, what they can help you with. So three main things that I really feel that coaches are super, super critical for. And you guys can chime in if I missed any or if you want to elaborate on any. But one is coaches help you move from where you are right now to where you want to be. So they're not so much as focused on, in some cases, they're not as focused on what has already happened. It's like, okay, you have this result that you want. Let's get you from point A to point B. Let's look forward and get you to where you want to be. Another thing coaches help you with is they help see patterns that are holding you back. Why are you not reaching that result? They'll dive in a little bit more to, and help work with you a little bit more on things that you're doing, things that you're saying, your self-talk, your thoughts, how you react to certain circumstances, and what's preventing you from getting you to a certain point. So those patterns or those paradigms that are holding you back from getting to that result. And the third thing that I see as coach being a really big thing for coaches in general is helping you set goals that work, managing your time and your mind around those goals. I say time and mind together intentionally. I feel like we can do a lot around just time management and managing your mind around time, and then holding you accountable to taking intentional action toward those goals. So goals are a really big thing because, again, going back to that first point, you're in one spot and you want to be somewhere else. That's all goal driven. So the coach will help close that gap for you. So I feel like this is really like the crux of what is a goal, what is a coach going to do for you. I feel like that like sums it up.
I think you nailed it all. I think just to add on a little bit, I think that we all have goals. Well, most of us have goals, right? And if we have a goal, some of us can have the goal, we take action immediately, we kill it, we push through the struggle, the kickback, the mental, anxiety, doubts, fears, all that. We push through. That's our personality. We see it, we want it, we go for it. That's one type of person. That's not most of us, right? Most of us have a goal, have a dream, have an idea of what we want, but we're lacking, right? We've got the doubts, we've got the fears, we've got the past thinking, we've got the belief of what our parents spoke over us or spoke to us. Oh, you're never going to amount to anything. No, don't do that. That's too risky. Whatever those, phrases were, we still hear them as adults. And that keeps us safe in our box, but not moving towards our goal or our dream, right? So the coach, like the biggest piece for the coach is that I'm in this with you. Like you're going to do the work, right? But I'm going to be here like encouraging you, not motivating, but holding your feet to the fire saying you got this, girl, and then that pivot on, so is that thought true? Is it true that you're not going to amount to anything? Or is it true that, you know, risking is scary and you shouldn't do it? You know, helping you to go, oh, that's the thought I have. That's the belief that I grew up with. That was what was, modeled before me growing up. But is that true? And once you have the aha, that's what a coach does. It helps you to have these aha moments where you're like, oh, I don't have to believe that. What? I can choose a different thought? Mind blowing. Mind blowing. And that is what I think is the power of a coach.
Yes, and you just hit it right on the head, Lisa, because it is like recognizing those patterns that are holding you back, like Sarah had mentioned as well. Like you just get into those mundane routines over and over and over again, and you do it without thinking. Your subconscious just takes you through the day. And with a coach, you can kind of like, wait a second, here's what you're seeing. This is what you're doing. This is who you're being on an everyday basis. And you're not showing up the way you feel that you deserve deep down in your heart. And to have that life coach, that mindset coach, to just create that trust for one thing, because I feel like we've been coached this too, like be careful who you tell your dream to, because you're going to have those outside voices of, oh, that's too big of a dream. You can't waste your time with that. You have kids. You can't do that. Where would you find time? You don't have enough money. All these outsides from your best friends, your family, all the things, your church community, whoever is going to tell you it's a bad idea. But if you came to the table and you've gone through, a lot of our podcasts and our teachings already for season 2, and you've joined in our Facebook community there, that we really dig into these things where you can start dreaming again. What do you want? And by working with your life coach can really give you that confidence and that person to trust with, I want to write a children's book. I want to invent something I've been dreaming of, or I feel like I want to start a podcast myself. Like, well, why not? Right. And to work one-on-one with someone to help you with the steps, with the emotional setbacks, but also the fun and exciting things that happen when you go after a goal and a dream, like that is priceless. To have that also community that we have as well, because you'll start to just feel and be different, and you'll start to just go out in the world as a different person, and that creates you to have this ready to receive feeling and desire that people are going to come into your life, and you're receiving all these conversations differently because of the growth that you're experiencing on a weekly basis with your coach, and someone to just go all in with your life, because this is the only one you get.
That is right. And I think, we all desire to have someone in our corner. And maybe you have someone in your corner. Maybe it's that best friend, maybe it's your mom, maybe it's, someone at church, but maybe you don't, right? And when I think about even those people in my life, they still share their own opinions. They still, put their own 2 cents and spin on it, whether it was asked for, invited, like you have to seriously be careful. And I think that's where that coach, like, we're in your corner. We're in your corner 110%. We're not here to judge you. We're not here to, give our opinions. This is us coaching you to uncover all of the richness of what is in you and what the world needs from you, and how you can really live that life that you can design and you deserve, and that you're going to love. That's the power of a coach. So we are so excited because we have a couple of ways that you can really dive into what we offer on a more personal level, right? So you're getting to know us. Maybe you're really resonating with Kelly, and you're like, you know what? I think I could really like have a conversation with Kelly. She seems like, we have some things in common. I feel, yeah. Maybe it's Sarah and doing the mom thing, and you're like, oh my gosh, she so gets me. I can, right? I am deep over my head in the mom life. Um, Whoever, if you're resonating with one of us more than another, we are tickled pink about that, because we want to help you get connected and go to the next step, not just stay stuck, not just stay stagnant, but be brave and step out. And two ways that you can do that. One is like your toes in the water. Your toes in the water are join our Facebook group. Join our Facebook group because we're over there. We're over there. We're showing up. We're engaging with you. You can post your questions. You can comment on our posts. There's additional trainings and teachings over there. It's a safe place to put your toes in the water if you're wanting to know a little bit more about us and how we are coaching. But the real magic is getting together with one of us on a one-on-one. It's free. It's a free consult where we want to meet you where you're at. We want to help you uncover and get through whatever that struggle is, or just talk through what is it that I want. Because let's face it, most people are not having these conversations, right? We talk about the weather, we talk about the sports, we talk about the upcoming holiday, we talk about our kids and their activities. But who can you talk to where you're the focus? And the question is, what do you want? What would bring your life joy? What do you see in your future? And what are your big desires? Those conversations we want to have with you. And we invite you to simply go to our link that we'll post in the show notes and schedule a half-hour free consult with one of us to ask the questions in a private setting, build that relationship, and see if this is something that you would like more help with. So we're so excited for what we have to offer you, because the transformation that we have experienced and continue to experience, because we have a coach and we are still doing this inner work, it's life transforming, and we want to help you have the same experience, living the life that you truly, truly, truly deserve and desire. So join our Facebook group, check out the link in the show notes, and book a free session with one of us. And let's do this. Start dreaming with our eyes wide open. So until next time, wake up and dream.